to see you again.
Hi, how are you?
It's been so long.
It's been like a week. How are you?
So I'm doing really good. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. This is fantastic.
Yes,
I'm
I love
very
this whole
happy to
look.
be here.
So another film that you're doing the costume designing. So how close have you worked with a production designer on making this particular look?
Well, Peter and I worked very closely, not necessarily on the costumes, but we shared a lot of our research. And because I was allowed the luxury of starting my research very early, and when I was still in southern Manitoba, I was able to gather images and information and historical data that Peter may not have been able to have access to. So we shared very well, which is an unusual thing in a production these days, unfortunately. But we had a wonderful collaboration of he would share ideas and colors and feelings, and I would share my historical research and my very specific, detailed research. And we came to. There was one point where I saw one of Peter's sets, and I said, "Oh my goodness, Peter! I just drove past that building in Winkler, Manitoba, which is in the heart of Mennonite country in southern Manitoba." And he had replicated this building without knowing. It wasn't that exact building, but he had replicated the feel of the structures and of the Mennonite community so beautifully that I instantly felt like I was back where I had been researching.
Wow.
Yeah.
I picture you looking through some books with white gloves, finding information. So
No.
did you find photographs? Like, what did you find?
I found I'd spent a lot of time in thrift stores in southern Manitoba, and I found there's a publication called Preservings magazine, which is put out by I want to get it right, but I don't know that I will, the Mennonite Historical Society, or something similar to that. The Mennonite culture are very, very proud and very tied to their history and to the maintaining of their history and the carrying on of their genealogy. And so I was able to find all sorts of documents that had photographs, that had stories, that had historical recounts of actual communities, of the way people lived, etc. And being in southern Manitoba and also in southwestern Ontario, where I did some of my research, there are people who still live that way. Many people I had access to and was graciously given access to and was able to share information with still live the way that women in our story live. And so I was able to learn details about how things were made, why they were made a certain way, the practicality of everybody gets hooked up on the polyester of these dresses, but there are very practical and very historical reasons why these communities use the type of fabric that they use. So I was very lucky to have access to the real deal, and the people who helped me were so gracious with their knowledge.
I was going to ask you this. When you see the poster, the movie poster, look at the detail that they showed. Were you happy when you saw that?
I was over the moon. Sarah sent me that as a little secret text before it went out. And
Isn't that cool? That's like showing
cool.
off your work.
It is. It's beautiful. And not only my work, but the suppliers that I got my fabrics from. Those two things are from a store called Marshall's in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Marshall, no way.
Well, yes, Marshall's Fabrics. It's not Marshall's.
Okay.
That has a whole separate side that sells nothing but fabrics to Mennonite and Hutterite colonies.
Wow.
So they specialize in the type of things that those communities use. And they gave me access again to come in, because normally an outsider wouldn't usually be allowed to use that. So I was able to make connections. And so those fabrics, are a direct result of somebody's graciousness in letting me into their world.
So perfect. You're always on point. Okay, hopefully they give you an Oscar for this. Okay.
For the polyester.
Right?
You never know.
Great talking, great seeing you again. Okay, bye. Bye.